Hello, welcome to your meditation practice as part of the Open Heart Project. My name is Susan Piver, and I am delighted to sit with you today. We're going to sit together today for our customary 10 minutes, and we're going to start soon, so please get settled on your cushion or in your chair. Both are excellent. And a few weeks ago, I had the brilliant notion of asking you what you might like me to speak about. What questions do you have, and what are you interested in and so on, to proceed our meditations together. And that was a great idea. I should have thought of that a long time ago, because you came forth with really intelligent, insightful, important, interesting questions. So thank you very much. If you would like to ask a question, I would be delighted to hear it. You can do so in one of two ways. You can leave it in comments on this blog post at the bottom of this page, and or you can follow the link in this blog post to the Ask Susan podcast. And there's a phone number and you can call and leave me a message with your question, and I would love to answer it on my podcast. And you can leave it anonymously or not, it's up to you. So here's the question this week, and it comes from Valerie. Hi, Valerie. The question is, I would love to know how you would talk about Buddhism to a Christian who wants to understand the experience of non-duality, no self, and or enlightenment in comparison to their own efforts toward a mystical union of all things in Christ, in which the person becomes, quote, oned with God, as Julian of Norwich expressed it. So that is a fascinating question. And it's also a question that kind of makes me laugh a little bit, not at you, Valerie, but at the idea of explaining non-duality, which is impossible. At the idea of explaining no self, which is impossible. You can't use a self to explain no self. You can't have object and subject to explain non-duality, where there is no such division. So I would first say, what is there to explain? If you and your friend, or if two people have philosophic interests in their comparative religions, or just enjoy talking to each other about their various practices and objectives and so on, that's great. Just explore it. Ask them what they think, tell them what you think, and so on. But in terms of teaching someone what is non-duality, I don't think it's useful to actually even have such conversations. You may hear some banging, by the way, behind me. There's some construction work going on outside my space. It's like, I can't remember who said this, writing about music is like dancing about architecture. It's beyond concept. So the notion of discussing things that are beyond concept is inherently flawed, let's say, or difficult. So that's the first part of what I would say is, maybe it's not so useful to talk about it. The second thing I would say is, the best way to communicate your own understanding of something like non-duality, let's say, or no self, is not to talk about it, which just increases concept, but to embody moments of non-duality, moments of experience of no self, which doesn't mean you're not here, because there you are and here I am, but no separate self. When you experience such moments, should you experience such moments, be in those moments. Be a person who is exploring non-duality, perhaps experiencing non-duality or no self. And that communicates far more powerfully and directly and usefully than any language we might come up with to discuss the ineffable. So I hope that's useful. Personally, I will just say for myself, I've explored myself. I do not think I have a philosophical bone in my body, I just don't think that way. I'm very geared towards experience. It's not better or worse. So I guess I say this because I may not be the best person to ask about this question. How do you discuss particular notions in one tradition with someone who is exploring similar notions in a different tradition? But that's what I have to offer. So I hope that's useful, Valerie. I wish you complete and utter enlightenment from suffering. which will communicate extremely powerfully to your Christian and other friends beyond anything we can ever imagine. So thank you for your question, and let's practice. Here we go. Let's begin our practice by releasing all notions of everything, of what meditation is, what it should be, what spirituality is, what it should be, what you hope to accomplish, perhaps, from your practice. Let's just give all that up. For me, that feels like a big relief. No need to think about anything right now. Just be. As my friend Michael Carroll says about meditation, we're not trying to get anywhere. We are trying to be somewhere. So this practice is the practice of being somewhere, right here, in this case. So take your posture, please, which basically means to sit up straight, because what we are doing is very dignified, very human, very ordinary, and very powerful. Has dignity to it, this practice, in its simplicity. So we can sit up straight, nothing to be ashamed of. The hands rest on the legs, palms down. No need for any mudras or gestures, because we're not trying to get our hands to work for us. We're just letting them rest. Feel all the doing go out of your hands. And while you're at it, feel all the doing go out of your body. Nothing to do right now. Just be and breathe, which you're doing anyway. So it's not like you're going to start doing that. Let your shoulders relax. If there's any sense in a normal day of pulling heavy weights forward at work, at home, whatever, imagine that those weights are just lifted from your shoulders, and your shoulders can just settle back into their normal position. The chin is tucked a little bit, so the back of the neck is long. And feel the nice straight line of your back body. It has its natural curves, but it's also straight. The mouth is closed, which is awesome, because you don't have to talk. And it's so great to not have to talk. So just rest in your own silence. The lips and teeth are slightly parted, and the tongue rests on the roof of the mouth. The breath is natural, in and out through the nose. You are already breathing, as mentioned. Just keep doing that. And the eyes are open, because this is a practice of wakefulness, and it's hard to be awake when your eyes are closed. So the eyes are open, and the gaze cast down to a spot a few feet in front, 3 to 6, depending on where your screen is, or if you're just listening. And let the eyes be really soft and sort of objects of receptivity rather than searching for something. Let them receive whatever is in your field of vision. And the crown of the head reaches up a little bit, like you could touch the sky. And the sit bones continue to reach down, like you could root yourself so firmly into Mother Earth. As we sit here in this posture, what is happening? Nothing. You're just breathing. So feel that. And let your attention rest on the flow of breath by feeling it, not by thinking about it or observing it, feeling it in the body. Feel the gentle expansion of the inhale and the release of the exhale. Your mind will continue to make thoughts. New problem. Trying to stop thinking is crazy. So don't do that. Just let your thoughts sort of be as they are, like there's a stream going by outside your house or your building and there's just burble, burble. You could sort of hear it, making its little flowing noises. But right here is your breath. And we want to stay with the breath as best we can and as gently as we can. So we're not trying to be good at meditation. We're just sitting here breathing, which you're already very good at. So feel a gentleness toward yourself as you sit here. And if thoughts distract you of judgment of yourself, stuff you got to do, things you're worried about, doesn't matter what the content is, notice that. Say to yourself silently, thinking, I'm thinking. Let go. It's awesome to let go. And then gently sort of walk your attention back to the breath, like you were walking a sleepy child back to bed. Come on, honey. Just kind of sweetly and gently come back to your breath and begin again. And that's it. We'll sit together. Thank you so much for your practice, and thank you so much for practicing with me and together with each other. See you next week.